So glad to be here with you today. Thank you for watching my channel on YouTube and for sending me comments and for watching our show from CMN TV. I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow welcoming my guest, Jack Youngblood. He's a young influencer, and I'm going to be able to ask him questions about how he started as a podcaster and a YouTuber. And he has 20,000 TikTok followers. He's published videos on YouTube that have reached several million views. So I really appreciate having him on the show so that we can talk about how he has reached success. And he also has a social media company where he can run your social media for you. He does an amazing job editing. And so I just wanted to let you know that he'll be on tomorrow. And we're going to be live streaming from Fireside Chat to YouTube for that show. So I wanted to just check in with you. I've done a couple of episodes, and I really enjoy doing this work. I'm really thrilled that that this is even possible. And I wanted to talk to you about something that happened a few years ago. And it's just a really important story to me. So it's about index cards, just ordinary index cards. So I was telling my boss, Linda Ray, I was telling her, I'm so excited. I'm going to be going to Detroit for an Oprah's Live Your Best Life weekend. And it starts tonight. And I'm so excited to go. And so she said, oh, that sounds interesting. My daughter's birthday's coming up in a little while. Do you think I could get tickets? And so we ordered the tickets for her and her daughter. And she bought the $300 tickets, and I had the $100 ticket. And so we decided to go together. And so something, I don't know what it was, I just heard in my mind, take index cards. And that's such a strange, random thing, isn't it? To hear that in your mind. But I didn't question it. I thought, all right, I'll just take some index cards. So I did. I always have a pen in my purse. So we went to this amazing location. It's called the Palace, and it's where our Pistons used to play. They play downtown now, but the Palace is a really nice venue. It's in Auburn Hills. So they set up in the parking lot, they set up this huge, they call it O-Town, and it was vendors and different things you could do, places where you can take a picture with Oprah's image and generally just have some fun before the show. So Oprah gave us these really cool bracelets, and they were kind of unusual. They were plastic, and I think they had some kind of a blinking light on them. So, you know, you put it on and you think, oh, that's great. Maybe it's to get back into the arena, you know, if you have to leave or something. We weren't sure what they were for, but each person had this bracelet paired with their ticket kind of thing. So we go into the arena, and Linda says, okay, look down, Sue. Just look down and just keep going. Just follow me. So I did. And so we went to her seats, which were the $300 seats, and they were only about 2 rows back from the stage. So the stage was this huge runway and a kind of a circular part at the end, you know, where if you were a model, you would take a turn at that end and then you'd go back up the runway. So it was really, it was amazing to be there. And they had a DJ playing music the whole time. It was really fun. So Oprah handed out these journals, and they had lots of space for writing inside and different prompts. And so I thought, oh, how lovely. This is beautiful. It's something you want to take home and keep, right? So the next morning, we started working on these journals. And so I noticed that she would ask a question, and then she would sort of just walk around and just kind of look down and wait for everyone to write their answers. And then she would ask the next question. So I've had this bucket list item that I've always wanted to do, just this one item. If I have a bucket list, it has one thing on it, and that is to somehow hand this poem that I wrote to Oprah. And I realized, I wonder if I could somehow give this to her now. And so I started writing down what I could remember on these index cards. So I had to kind of start again a couple of times, because if I forgot a word or something, I would be kind of concerned that it's not perfect. So let me start it again. So it took me a little while, but I got the whole thing on 3 index cards. And in between one of the times that she was asking her question, I said, "Oprah?" And she goes, "Yeah," and turns around. And my heart was just, oh my goodness, because like she heard me and she's turning around to see who spoke to her. And I said, "I have a poem." And so she motions to the people, her people that were security, and she was like, get it from her. So I handed my index cards down to the security guard who was right in front of the runway. And he handed it to Oprah. And she just took a moment and just read what I had on the cards. And it was such an amazing moment for me, because that was the culmination of a dream that I had no idea how it was ever going to happen. No idea, like ever. Where would that happen? And so she kind of nodded to me and she put it in her jeans. She was wearing jeans that day. And so for the rest of the show, I was able to see my index cards in the poking out of her jeans back pocket. And it was just extraordinary. I did actually take a picture of it. And it was amazing to have realized that that was actually a perfect time to do that. So I feel that I wanted to tell you about this, because sometimes you'll have an idea to do something, and I really believe that sometimes there's never a better moment than that exact moment to do something. If you get the idea, should I do it now? And you kind of look at a couple of different factors. Is this possible? Is this okay? And if you kind of get the feeling that, yeah, actually, all I have to do is ask and this can happen, then I want you to say yes to that opportunity. Because for a couple of years before that, I would think, okay, so the way that I can get this poem to her is I have to drive to Chicago. I have to go to the Oprah building, the Harpo building, and get tickets for a show. And then I need to find my way to Oprah. She's probably on the top floor in some lovely office. And I was thinking, how on earth am I ever going to hand this poem to her? Like, it's impossible. And so through the years, sometimes I'd meet somebody and they'd be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to go to the Oprah show." And I would think, "Oh, I wish so much you could ask her for me, could I email her something?" And there really was never a situation where that was possible. So it just never happened. And I thought, oh, I'm never going to have that dream come true. And it's amazing, because if you have a dream and you think, I'm just going to let this percolate in the background as I go about my life, and just see if there's some kind of situation that would make you closer to that goal. So if you want to go back to school and get an advanced degree, for example, then maybe you could go to a college information night or watch a webinar visit the campus, make an appointment, because there may be some way of funding, there may be some way that you could apply, and you never know. What if they accepted you? So I really feel that in life, it's an amazing thing when an opportunity comes up that may never come up again. So I really want you to look at it and say, why not now? And why not me? And actually go for what you dream of. I think that it's really important to support each other, along the way as we're going through our lives. It's really good to tell somebody if there's something that you really wish you had or would like to do in your life. I think it's really great to tell somebody and maybe tell many other people, because you never know who might be connected to the best way to actually begin to achieve that dream. You never know who people know and what networks they already have. And if you don't say anything, then it's only just you trying to realize a dream. And I think it's really important that you can leverage other people's relationships and networks and see how that can come about in life. So I wanted to just take a moment here, and after I've done a couple of shows, it's really changing me. Like, having this show is it's a profound paradigm shift for me. I grew up really shy, and I would be more comfortable going into a room and going towards the back and trying to enter a room as quietly as possible. And it's nice to go in and observe, definitely. It's nice to go in and see how things are in a room, to kind of read the room before maybe saying something or making some kind of statement. But I think that eventually it's really great to go up to somebody and just strike up a conversation and see what you can discover about that person and have something to tell them. So it's really fun when I go to networking and I tell people I have a show, and then it's really a great introduction because, first of all, they say that I'm not shy, even though I think I am, but it's amazing what it can do for your confidence, I think, to be on TV, because you don't really have anywhere to hide. Like, I can't go to the back of the studio and hope no one notices me. So thank you for being patient with me as I get better over time. But yeah, it's amazing that something like this, that I didn't realize actually is my purpose. I always thought that, maybe I'll write something someday. I always thought I'm just going to keep all of these thoughts and ideas and insights in coil notebooks for someday. So I have like 13 notebooks, and I thought I was going to write something someday. But this is more fun because I can reach people and I can speak things into being and talk about things that have happened and perhaps what I've learned, in the hopes of inspiring someone else, encouraging someone else to do what they dream of doing. There's this really good kind of I guess it's a one-line kind of a quote, and I really wish I could get it right. It's something like, if you think like doing something is expensive, wait till you get the bill for regret. And what that means to me is, I think when you get to be towards the end of your life, sometimes you think more about things that you have not done than what you have done. And so I think what that thought means to me is that we don't want to get to our deathbed and think to ourselves, if only I'd made that phone call. If only I'd gone to that audition. If only I'd continued my studies. And you can't really know where your life would have gone. So if there's some way of starting on the path of something that you've always wanted to do, just promise me that you'll look into it and see if there's some way of still making your dream come true. Because I believe that if it's meant for you, it'll find you. And so I feel that there's more than one way of arriving at something. And so if you keep an open mind about how your dream can come true, there may be more than one pathway to get there. And if you start talking about it to other people, they might actually give you a helping hand in one of the pathways. So it's very worth it, isn't it, to share our dreams with someone, because you never know what they can offer you in the present so that you can work towards something happening for you in the future. So if I were to have a bucket list now, I think there would be one thing on it, and it would be to travel to the British Isles with my children. That's really a dream of mine. We definitely are British in our ancestry. That's why I have freckles. And I'd love to go to the attractions and the different places that everyone visits, but go to some unusual ones too. So there's a Harry Potter tour because the kids grew up with Harry Potter. There's a 7-hour tour that you can take from the London area, and you go to all the different places where scenes were shot. So you get to see the Great Hall, of the school, and maybe the exterior of what was used as Hogwarts, and some other places where they shot scenes so that you can feel part of it. We've seen all 7 movies, and I think they've read many of the books. And one of their favorite things to do is to have a Harry Potter marathon. So that's where they would invite some friends over and just watch as many of the movies back to back as they could. And I think that I would absolutely fall asleep after maybe the second movie, because I don't think I could stay up for that long. But I admire the sentiment of having a Harry Potter marathon. I think it's a great idea. So, yeah, I told them, I said, one thing I really want to do is I want to go meet the locals. So I thought, well, a lot of the times the locals go to like the local pub. So if we were in Ireland or Scotland or England, it'd be really fun to go to the pubs and just, have water or like something, pop, but to listen to people's stories who are in the pub and just feel like you're part of it, and to imagine what it would be like to grow up there in that area, and to listen to their accents and listen to their stories. That just sounds like the most wonderful thing. And I'd love to do that with the kids, because I think that we'd all have so many memories after having visited all these special places. Of course, I'd also like to go to a castle or two, and maybe to see Buckingham Palace from the outside. I don't know if they have a Downton Abbey tour, but it would be amazing to see that house, even at a distance. That house is extraordinary, the Downton Abbey house. So I feel that that would be my bucket list now, would be just going to the British Isles with the children. And I really hope that that will be possible in the next few years. I just feel like there's nothing that's more, I think, important to you than relationship and family and friends when it comes to the end of your life. And so I really encourage everyone, think about what you've always wanted to do. And if it's still a dream of yours, then don't give up on it. Research different ways of achieving that goal. Talk to others who might have ideas about how to make it happen. And maybe write what you really wish would happen. Write it down. There was a Yale study many years ago, and or was it Harvard? And they had two groups of students. So one group, they followed through the years. They both were followed through the years. So one group, they told them to think of some goals that they had for themselves and to write them down. And the other group, they just studied them. They were like a control group, so they didn't have them do anything. So after many years, they checked on where people were in the two groups. What did they achieve? What were they doing in their lives? Did they achieve their goals? And there was a striking difference between the two groups. So the group that did write down their goals had a significantly greater amount of them who actually achieved them. The ones who wrote down more detail, their goals even more came into focus and they achieved them. So somehow just taking a moment from your life, just writing down on index cards if you want, writing down what you'd like to see in your life in the next 5 years, and really think about it. Think about the other things that have to happen in your life for those things to actually come true. So if there's a certain age that your kids need to be before you can achieve a goal, start thinking about it while they're still at home and they're young, and see if there's steps you can take to begin that process. Because it does come really quickly that they leave home and then you have nothing but time when they're gone. And so it may feel like you're always going to have them with you. But if they have opportunities somewhere else, like mine do, you want to be able to be happy for them and encourage them to follow their dreams, to take chances, and to go where their work leads them to or where a relationship leads them to. So it's difficult, definitely. We're in 3 different time zones. But I feel that they were the reason why I started this show, to leave them a legacy. And I feel that, this is actually, it's giving me sort of byproducts, side benefits that I never imagined. But because I'm interviewing others for the show and finding out if they have interest, I went to a Motor City convention last weekend and I talked to some artists and I was looking at their work and found that they were very interested in coming on and sharing their work with you. So I'm going to be having some people who do really great graphics and comic book design, actual story novel books, and they can come on and tell us about their craft. So I'm excited to share people that I'm meeting in my life with you, with all different kinds of diverse interests and talents, because you never know what someone's going to be interested in. So I interview those that I'm learning something from, and I'll be happy to share them with you. I've learned a little bit about not being so shy and networking and reaching out and just finding out about others. And in networking, at least, it's okay to go up to a stranger and ask them about themselves. And so that's great. I really recommend going to networking if you get the chance. And it's really wonderful to add all these wonderful, talented people to your circle of friends and professionals, because in the next few weeks, you're going to be thinking, oh, that person can help me because of what they do or what they're interested in. And it's amazing to have a network of people you can call upon if you want to get some really good, unbiased advice about something you're thinking about. It's really extraordinary how much we need to be connected and how much we want to belong. So I hope that I make you feel that you belong to this community, and I welcome you. So happy to have you along for this journey. And I want to thank you for your attention, your kindness. And I just so love doing this. So I will continue to meet new people, share them with you, and see where else we can go in this journey. But thank you for allowing me to gradually get better, I hope. And I hope that if you ever meet with me, please say hello and tell me what you're interested in, because I'd love to know. So in YouTube, my channel is called Fireside Chat TV, and they've given me some kind of code, T as in Tom, T as in Tom, 4, E as in Edward, Y as in yellow. Thank you.